distinguished guests on the dais, Professor Ball, Professor Pani, Professor Rao, Professor Padi, Professor Satpathy, distinguished delegates of the dais, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. As the chairman of the session, I have been asked to deliver the presidential address, but that's the last thing that I'll be doing. First of all, there is no time for that. We have already exhausted quite a bit of time. And secondly, we had 3 full days of discussion, deliberation, and all that on the topic itself. So instead of inflicting a presidential address, I'll just share my stray thoughts with you. I'll begin by sharing my views with Professor Pani when he said that sincere scholarship is lacking these days. It is a fact. Students these days are more aware of statistics, that is to get a degree, than to make a real work. We are supervisors, guides. In all these days, including myself, say in 2,000 years, right from Kalingan War, the scholars of Kalinga, scholars of Odisha, have not been able to identify who was the ruler of Kalinga at the time of Kalinga War. I understand this is a difficult fact, and history believes only in existence of facts, and there is no fact available as of date. And without any proper evidence, speaking something, whoever speaks that, it will not be the truth. It is not a historical truth, because history believes in truth only. But nevertheless, it is a fact that scholarship is gradually vanishing. I'll give you 2 examples which I have experienced myself. These days, in late 70s, even in 21st century, people come with a dissertation, first copy, second copy, third copy of the dissertation, where it is written Khandagiri in Khurda district. Since 1990, Khandagiri, the monument is in, Khandagiri in Puri district. Khandagiri has now gone to Khurda district. But books were written before 1990 when 30 districts were created. So scholars do not have the patience to read that what is written in the books, they just copy it. A scholar of mine came in 2005. MPhil dissertation he brings. Harkushta Mahatab at the age of 78 is still going strong. This was written in 2005. By that time, Harkushta Mahatab was already there 15 years. It begins like this. Harkushta Mahatab at the age of 78 is still going strong. That is because the scholar has not read any book on Harkushta Mahatab, has given it to the typist to type it just like that. So this is the type of scholarship that we are facing these days, the scholars that we are meeting. So these are the facts. Now coming to the conference, we had 3 days of deliberations here. First day we had inauguration. Last day, third day, we have this valedictory. 1 full day of academic discussions, 2 plenary sessions, and 4 academic sessions and all that. It went off well. One of the best conferences that I have attended so far. And while taking tiffin, I said it was good. Somebody just commented, no, it was not good, it was very good rather. I said, I agree with you. So I also agree that everything went off well from academic side, from management side, from logistics side. Everything about the conference was well organized. I joined Professor Pani in saying that Professor Padi should organize conferences in his own line. But I'll be slightly selfish. I'll request him that since he has the patronage of our eminent parliamentarian Bhartwari Mahatab, a conference on maritime history in specific, a conference of this magnitude on maritime history of India in general and Kalinga in particular is a necessity. We need to have answers to many questions. Professor Rao talked loudly about elephants of Kalinga. But elephants of Kalinga is a misnomer in maritime history. We take pride that we exported elephants. But even today, Sri Lankan elephants are the best in the world. From whom we are sending our elephants. Even today, if the Sri Lankan elephants are better than that any part of India, what were we sending? Why should we be proud of elephants? So these are many such questions which need to be properly answered, and that can only be answered in a seminar of this sort, and that can be organized by none other than Professor Padhi. So, being a little selfish, my first request to him will be organize a seminar on maritime history of maritime trade or overseas trade and maritime history of Kalinga in particular and that of India in general. That will solve many of our unanswered questions, many riddles. And again I come back, over these years we have not been able to produce a very good book on this primarily because of paucity of materials. We do not have that. There is no inscriptional evidence about our maritime history, and that is how critics say that whatever we say our maritime glory, that we had Gajapati rulers who say exported elephants, our boats were sturdy enough to take 200 elephants at a time, all these are there, but we are criticized for the single fact this is chauvinistic and are not backed by facts, evidences, and in the absence of inscriptional sources, there is no single inscription as of now. That is how this need. Now, about this topic, we had Indian trade and commerce, past, present, and future. Past we have records, present we analyzed here all these days, and future will be our suggestions. Whatever will come out of these deliberations, the books, for the first time I saw that all the articles, papers have been published already, so that is for our future guidance. Past we have recorded evidence, present we are discussing here, and we are giving guidelines to the future through our writings. The scholars present here have given enough ideas to guide the future of trade in India in particular. So, conferences of this type are necessary. Then, now coming to the organization part. Everyone appreciates Professor Padhi's efforts, but as a part of the core committee, I will say that from the day one, I have been warning him repeatedly on two things. First, the date was fixed. 10 days after the date is fixed, I telephoned to him that another conference of this magnitude or even better magnitude almost in the same topic is going on at Bhubaneswar 16th, 17th and 18th. Our dates are 17th, 18th and 19th. Another conference almost on the same topic covering maritime history, trade, all these aspects was going on in this same city. And the scholars are same. I was invited there as a participant, I am here. Dr. Bhubaneswar Patra was here, he was also presenting a paper there. So many of us were doing dual duty, presenting papers there, getting our, helping the authorities there, also showing our face here. So that was our first problem. After fixing the date, that is the first problem we faced. I told him, what can you do? He said, no sir, we cannot go back, let us have it. In spite of these problems, let's have it. We went ahead. The second and then the most difficult problem came was the visit of the Honorable President to this city during this period itself. That shattered many of our preparations. Accommodation, logistics, guests. On the inauguration day, we didn't get one of our ministers. We had to wait 1 hour for the minister to come. So all these, we cannot blame the ministers. The situation was like that. They had to go to the presidential program. That is a protocol. So that was our second problem. So in spite of this, I had one Professor Padi, when I learnt about President's visit, I told him, he said, sir, don't tell me these things, we go ahead, whatever is the consequences. And I agree, whatever is the consequences was in a positive way. We faced problems, but we faced it as a challenge and we surmounted the problems. So we made it a success. By using the word we, I don't include myself. I include the organizers because I have not done much of the logistic work. Then the honorable delegates have expressed that the cultural program was good. For that, I thank Madam Padi. She was the key person in organizing the cultural program, and we all came to know that she is such a nice artist. So for the cultural program, I think the cultural group which organized the program, such a wonderful program for these 2 days. Then Professor Rao and all others said about, Professor Bala also said about the students, volunteers. I am yet to see such a band of volunteers. The word volunteer is not the proper word for them. Students. These days to find such committed students is a difficult proposition because students are problematic everywhere. Normally when we organize functions in the universities, we keep the students at a bay, at a distance, because once they are in, we are into problems. So normally we keep the students away and we do the manual work ourselves. In many universities, at least in my university, we do that. Professor Raut is with me. We do that, we keep the students away. So, but here, the students were the best performers. The hospitality they have shown, the discipline they have shown, the cooperation they have shown. I congratulate them, and I also congratulate their teachers for such discipline among the students. It's a rare thing these days. And as Professor Pani said, he should organize conferences on this media studies. That's good. The students should be encouraged. There should be regular conferences, may not be of this magnitude, of smaller magnitude, involving students and few experts from outside, inside the city itself, because media these days is the most upcoming business, and they are most powerful. They are going to be most powerful persons in the society, and you are entering into that thing. Then I'll be failing in my duty if I do not recognize the contribution of the anchor. I must personally thank him because he is performing the duty of the president, chairman of the meetings. In the inaugural session as well as in the valedictory, I did not have to coordinate among the speakers. I did not have to speak what they spoke. And I did not have to even jot down what they are speaking so that I can respond on that. So responding, nice organization, he is an asset in that. He is known all over Orissa for his ability, his capacity, and he is an asset for any institution. It's good that he is associated with this organization. I thank him for this. Also, I thank the guests on the dais today. Professor Narayan Rao is a senior friend, but he has been with us all through. Professor Pani belongs to history. Our faculty is a very good friend. Professor Bala, all of them is good. And above all, above everything, I repeat, I thank Professor Padi for such an organization. And as I heard, in his first, he is a senior man now because he has already organized 2 very successful seminar conferences. And then first he took the help of some event makers, but here he did it on himself. So this speaks the maturity he is gaining. Therefore, I request him once again, I end up with a request, let him organize a seminar on maritime history. This is also dearer to the heart of his mentor, Bhartwari Mahtab, because that is how he knows me and I know him, and I am associated with this. Thank you all.